Hi, I'm Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today I'm going to show you, to present you the bridge camera Olympus Stylus 1S. Okay, thank you very much to Phottix for lending me the camera so I can review it. Thank you to Claudia, who is behind the camera, the Olympus OMD E5 Mark II, and she's playing around with the zoom lens, so it changed a bit the way I look in the movie, in the video. Hopefully I would look slimmer, but it's not the case. But anyway, thank you. Okay, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgimbal, my website ericgimbal.com. If you have any question, you can send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. Okay, let's start. Okay, the specs about this Olympus camera. It's a 12 megapixel sensor, which maybe is a bit short for some people. I think it's enough because most of us, we publish our pictures on the internet anyway. We don't really print on paper, but even with 12 megapixels, you could print on 50 by 60 centimeters without much problem anyway. Okay. It is a zoom lens of 28 to 300 millimeter, equivalent to a full frame camera, but it has 2.8 aperture on the whole range. So this is really great. If you think about it, if you look at it, I've got my notes here. This is very small camera. If I put maximum lens, this is the longest way it's going to look. Okay, the size is perfect. It's just a bit smaller than my OMD E5 Mark II. This is a great. I mean, the feeling in your hand is brilliant. Okay. It has a HDMI plug, Wi-Fi. And okay, I'm going to start to tell you the pros and the contrast, what I think. During the video you will see some pictures and videos I've made, so I speak with voice over it, but you have a look at the result this camera is doing. Okay, I'm going to start with the pro and we'll go for the cons after. The size is brilliant. The size is small, it's easy, it's like a big compact camera, not really a large bridge camera. It's compact, it's great. The weight is perfect, 400 grams, 402 grams for the camera with the battery and a SD card. So it's very light. It's great if you compare with any camera with a 300 millimeter on it. This is really great. Okay, what else do I like? The zoom is 2.8 on the full range. This is brilliant. I very often recommend the Panasonic Lumix FZ300 that has 2.8 on the full range, but it is up to 600 millimeters starting on 25. This is only up to 300 millimeters starting on 28 millimeters, but I still think 300 millimeters is brilliant for the size, so I think it's, for me, it's enough. Okay, as you can see, there is the hood. When you switching on is straight, it's ready immediately. This is really fast. You don't have to wait to have the camera ready, but as you can see, the hood protects really. When you close, the bonnet is just closed. Okay, that's perfect. I know that there are some accessories like on the Lumix LX100. Yeah, you have to buy it separately. This case, it's with the camera it comes. Okay. What else do I like? You can also remove this bonnet, and then you can put some filter on your lens. Okay. I'll wait for a second. There is a motorbike passing by. On the Sony HX400V I reviewed and the Nikon P900, I thought the viewfinder was a bit narrow. It was too small. Okay, so I thought it was because there's a motorbike away there. So I thought it was because it was a bridge camera, but and I thought I was I was too much used to my Olympus camera, and it was a large viewfinder. I speak about the OMD E5, and actually I checked this one, and this is really wide, really large. So I think it's just because Sony and Nikon did not make it. It is possible to make it because Olympus has made it. Okay. So the viewfinder is great. It's 100%. So what you see in there is really what you will see on the picture. The camera can use RAW and JPEG file separately or both of them. Up to now, only Lumix and Panasonic I tested, I saw that. I mean, the Nikon and the Sony do not offer RAW files. I think this is a big mistake because many pro are starting to use pro or semi-pro or advanced amateur. They actually want to use a bridge camera because it's compact, has a large zoom, and they want to be able to post-process the picture. And if it was a bit overexposed or underexposed, they want to fine-tune it with a RAW file. So I think this is great that this camera has RAW file. This is brilliant. Okay. The optical zoom is top quality, and one thing I love, there are two buttons to use it. You can turn the zoom from here, okay, or from the side here. There's also another button. Okay. What I really love is because you can separate the way they work. One can be fast and this one can be a bit slower. So it means if you're doing video, you can actually go a bit slower when you're actually zooming in or out. And also one thing I like, you can also configure that instead of telling you within the screen for example, time 2, time 3, time 4, time 6 for the zoom, you can actually configure it so that it speaks in millimeters. 28, 35, 50. Well, it actually says in millimeters. And also you can have a step zoom. You can actually do that. It doesn't do like 28, 29, 30. It goes 28. You touch it. Jump to 35, jump to 50, 70, 85, 100, 135, 200 and 300. It means that if you're on the street making pictures and you want that all your street picture on 35 millimeters and your portrait picture of people on the street are on 135, then you would jump and you make sure this way when you jump you go straight to you stop exactly on the zoom focal you want. Okay, you're not on 136 when you want 135. So this way it means that you have more consistency between your pictures. You know that all your street you do 28 for example, and all your portraits 50 or 70 for example, but not 72 or 73. Okay, so I think this is really great. It's like using several fixed focal lenses. Okay. And what else do I like? You have Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi it's okay. I'll speak a bit about the negative point just after. The screen size is perfect. This is 3-inch size. This is really great. Okay. The autofocus is quite good. I think it focuses quite fast, daytime, nighttime. Although I tried when there's a plane landing. I don't know if you're seeing now or if I showed it before in the video. There is some time I think the autofocus is not straight there. I mean, I think I was losing the plane sometime, but not sure because I checked the video, it still looks okay. So it was more a feeling, but also it's because as it was only 300 millimeter, there was a lot of sky around the plane. So maybe, although I was using central spot for autofocus, for focusing area, I think maybe as having so much sky, the autofocus was getting a bit mad. Okay, but the result seems okay, so no, it was just maybe a feeling more than anything. Okay, you can also put some accessories. If you take off the hood here, you can actually the bonnet, you actually put a tele or a wide angle accessory that you have to buy separately. Okay, and also one thing I really like, the problem with bridge camera is that normally you cannot close the aperture over f8, f11, f16. You don't have this, and also the speed normally is limited. On this one, the maximum speed is 2000th of a second. So I think maybe it's a bit short. So if you want to make a picture at 2.8, then you will have probably a burnt picture. So you could fix an ND neutral density filter on the lens, but it's even better than this. There is an electronic ND filter in the camera. So I configured that. I put it on this function button. When I click, then yeah, I get darker automatically. I don't know if it's one, 2 or 3 stop ND filter. I didn't calculate, but I think it's about 2 or 3 stops. But it's just perfect. I mean, I was making some picture straight away. It was too much light. I pressed the button and then it was darker. So then it's not a problem to have only 2,000th of a second in this case. Okay. Okay, the exposure I think is great. As all Olympus, you can have straight away, as you can see, the orange part just tell me before I make the picture that it's going to be burnt. And if I was moving speed here or here, the aperture or close, if it's getting blue, then if it gets blue, it means it is underexposed. This I can configure to have it before making the picture. So this is great. It's almost impossible to fail a picture because beforehand you know if it's properly exposed or not. Okay. It also means that if you work with raw file, you can get them to the limits, and then you get in post edition, you can actually get what was almost burnt to the right level and have a perfect exposed picture. Okay. What else? Well, when I saw this small bonnet, I thought, oh, that's great. But then if I need a shade, a hood for the sun, what can I do? If I fix it, then how do I close the camera? So I said, well, first I'm going to make a picture against the sun and see what happens. If you see this picture, it's on the street, the sun is between the clouds, I point at the sun and there is no flare at all. This is surprising. It's zero flare. And if you look at my Sony HX 400V and Nikon P900 review, you will see both have flare. The Nikon has a lot of flare. If you point at the sun, you have really a lot of flare, and this one has no flare. So really, you could live without any hood, without any problem. Okay. What else? Well, I said the switching on is immediate. Okay. Now we can speak about the negs, the negative points. Okay. Well, this is more a question of taste than a negative point. The screen, you can actually tilt it this way or this way, but you cannot in all the ways. Okay. On my E5 Mark II, you can do all the way around. I prefer this way because you can actually move it exactly as you want. You can even do selfie, I mean turning completely and looking at you in the screen. This one you cannot do it. Okay, but it's more matter of taste than anything else. Okay, so it's a pity that for me, but for many people it's just fine. Okay. I think the buttons are not located in the right place, because when I was recording video, I actually several times accidentally pressed the switch on or off button, and because it's just there, so you actually go to press the recording button to start or to stop, and then you actually switch off the camera, and I think it's in the wrong place. And this small wheel, I think it could be maybe better. I mean, I think it's a bit far. I don't know, you could fix it, but I don't think it's not exactly the right place. Okay. Here you also have a wheel, so you can configure everything, aperture here or speed here, or any, if you're in manual, depending on what you are. Okay, but you can actually configure all this. Okay, 28 millimeters instead of 24. It starts from 28. For some people, they would rather have a 24 millimeter if you want to make some landscape. I think it's better to have a 28 with perfect image and 24 with very lousy corners. So I think it's the right decision. For me, 28 millimeters is fine. It's enough. I don't need 24, but maybe some people would like to have 24. Okay. The speed. I think the shutter maximum shutter speed of 2000 of a second, I think it's a bit low. It would be better to have 4000 of a second. 4,000th of a second would be better, but having the neutral density filter within the camera, I think okay, it's fine, unless you're doing action picture, and then you would really like to be able to freeze completely something on 4,000 of a second, or very high light situation, and the ND filter is not enough with the combined with the f8. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I think for me it's enough. Although I would prefer the 4,000 of a second. There is no microphone external plugin, but anyway, people who do serious video, normally they use external recorder. Okay, one thing I really did not like at all, if you switch on the camera, you go to the menu because you want to find something in the menu here. Okay, so I select anything, okay, connection with the sound, for whatever, okay. Then I go off the menu because I want to make a picture, okay. When I want to go back to the menu, if I press menu again, it goes back to the start. It doesn't go back exactly where I was if I press menu again. On my Olympus, on my E5 OMD E5 Mark II, it goes back where the menu was. So I think it's more practical, especially if you're doing trial and error, testing a configuration or another one. It would be quite great to go back exactly where the menu was last used. Okay. There is no GPS on this camera. Many compact and bridge camera now have GPS. This one hasn't, but if you use the app for your mobile phone, you can actually GPS tag your pictures then. Okay, going back to this app. Actually, I use the same app when Claudia is not touching the zoom. I am alone recording a video. Normally, I check on my telephone and I see exactly where what I'm doing. No, I can record video, picture, all this. With this app, with this camera, this is the same app, but it only lets you make pictures. It does not let me record video. So I think this is a big mistake for someone who would like to remotely control a video session or a self video. You cannot use the app for that. I think this is a pity. I don't know why for my camera it works and for this one it doesn't work. Okay. Well, I think that's all. What else would I say? I really very often recommend the Panasonic Lumix FZ300. And now I think that if you do not need 4K video that the Panasonic has, or a 600mm zoom lens, then I would recommend more this one. This is more compact. I think the image quality is better. This is really a brilliant camera. It's like a small pro camera within a bridge camera. Okay, it also does arts menu that you can have. Passing some pictures now that you have several preset processes, so it gives a different look to your pictures. You also have the typical menu, the scene menu, that like portrait, nighttime, stars, all that. Okay, but I think I would really recommend this camera. You also have the external hot shoe for a flash, an external flash. You have a small flash within it, okay, but you can put an external flash or a remote trigger. I think this is great because now you have like a small pro camera being a bridge. Okay, so I think this is really good. And well, that's it. Thank you very much to Photosura for lending me the camera so I could review it. Thank you to Claudia, who's been behind the camera moving the zoom lens so you can have a different aspect of my video at last, not that fixed. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgibaud, my website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any questions, send me an email to info@ericgibaud.com. My Twitter, ericgibaud, Eric Gibaud, my Google plus Eric Gibaud, my Instagram, Gibaud, my Facebook, facebook.com/ericgibaudphoto. And I think that's it. I don't know if I said it. Thank you again to Photosura for lending me the camera. And that's it. Thank you very much and see you very soon.